me being who I am, I can take anybody and transform them into who I want them to be. Oh.
Hold on, sir. You really think that you're that special? That you can just transform any woman out there to be what you want them to be? Do you know how disrespectful that is to someone who you could possibly be dating to hear something like that? Like, oh, so you transformed me into what you wanted and I'm still not worth marriage? Like, dude, the jokes just write themselves. I wanted to talk about this interview because I saw a little snippet of a clip.
What situation are you referring to that they're looking at and thinking is not high functioning?
Just my life.
Your life entirely, or your life in relationships?
My life.
See, don't deflect. Let's stay here. Your life entirely, or your life in relationships?
Both, really.
And they think that you're low functioning?
No, I don't.
You just said people see your life and think you're not high functioning. The opposite of that would be low functioning.
No. Okay, so here you go. You're trying to take my intentions away from, this is, can I correct it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Or can I give you more?
Yes, more information. Heck yeah.
So, I'm not married, right? I have beautiful children.
How many?
8.
I didn't do my research. I thought it was 4, but 8, okay.
No, baby.
Cool.
It's
By how
8.
many women?
3. And this is the kicker. I want more. Now.
By multiple women? What's the intent of this saying?
God
about your wife?
I just want God to bring him.
And it led me to the 2-hour-long conversation between him and Dr. Bryant, who is, I think she's a psychologist, but either way, she has a doctorate in psychology. The reason why I wanted to talk about this is because she carried herself with so much grace and so much patience while dealing with somebody who is as defensive and as combative as Cam Newton. I don't know this man personally. I'm just some bitch on YouTube. Like, let's be real. We're just here to talk shit. So we're just going to take some select clips that I took out. I was taking notes while I watched this. And I really, man, let's just let the clips speak for themselves, right?
Be careful what you ask for. Start asking God, reveal to me what I'm saying I want, so I understand the transparency of it. God, reveal to me what's mine, so I can have that. And I don't end up praying to you to get out of it. And I don't rush to the altar just to become a divorcee or a baby mama or a baby daddy. We don't want what nobody else has. We want what's ours, because that is good enough. I caught that pic.
You caught the pig. Just because you talking loud, just because
I wasn't loud.
You see, he gets very wildly, like, condescending when it comes to the moment after she finishes saying something. And I know that's me being nitpicking because I wasn't there for the conversation. I don't know what the vibes were like. But it's very interesting and very telling that she's speaking to a very particular audience with her answers, and he doesn't seem to be getting the message in any way, and he takes it as like a fight. It's weird. It's very weird to me.
Just because your voice is inflected.
I wasn't loud.
Just because you're leaning forward to your camera.
I wasn't loud.
Doesn't mean you just called it pig.
I'm talking to my people. I'm talking to my people.
All I'm trying to say is you took something completely out of context when I said.
See, and she's not even attacking him, but he's taking it as a personal attack. And then he wants to come in and like, well, this is out of context. I'm going to need to set the record straight because you ran with one thing that I said and you're changing it. Dude, the question was about her and if she wants to get married, and then her reasoning behind everything. And then you're going to come through and get defensive when it's not even a question about you? Wow. It's wild, dude. It's wild.
Said your resources around you that you said.
Yes. We cleared that up, though.
Yeah, but the resources that you have around you of healthy relationships.
They are.
Not that you want that. You said, you took what I said and yeah, I said, I want that. But it's not, I want what they have.
I don't.
It's more of an admiration for what they have. And it's like, yo, like I admire that about their relationship.
There you go. Now, hold on, that's no, because the latter part, I have single girlfriends I admire how they are as women. I have married girlfriends who I do admire their relationship, meaning I love.
She's literally trying to say that she is secure in who she is as a person, and she doesn't want what other people have. She wants to carve her own path. I don't see how that message was lost in here. I don't get it. I don't get it. His comprehension is very low. That's all I gotta say.
That it's healthy for you. I love that you and him
Yeah, but
are
you're
doing
talking about
this.
mansions and beating and all that.
Cam,
I ain't mentioned none of
hold
that.
on,
I just said.
Cam, if it went over your dreadlocks, bring it back.
Yeah,
Let's
but
stay
you're
here.
talking about you catching. Yeah,
I
but you
took it
used
to the
that
football
analogy.
field. I'm sorry. We're back here. I brought it back, baby. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
it's okay.
Dude, she is amazing at de-escalating a situation that is slowly boiling over. That's what she did there. She could see that he was starting to get dysregulated, and she was like, okay, let's bring it back here. I wasn't trying to attack you in any way. I'm just answering for myself. I don't look to emulate other people's relationships. I know what I want. I'm gonna go get that. It's taken a long time in my journey to get here. She's talking about her own journey, and he's over here getting defensive about her answer about marriage. It's you can't make this shit up, bro.
It's okay.
I'm not fleeing. I'm here.
Say less.
I'm here. Yeah.
Say less. I skipped this ad read. Okay, so this is where the high versus low functioning conversation comes in, and this is where the majority of the clips came from. So I just want y'all to see what happens when you tell someone that they are basically their version of reality is distorted and they're not as great as they think they are. This is a great section.
Two things that I really want to ask or must ask in this situation. First, in regards to the women, I don't really want to attack or, you know, really speak on your clientele, but obviously with my research, you spoke about low functioning individuals, male and female. What's the percentage of males or females that you counsel that are low functioning? What's that percentage?
Love it. Collectively, or you want me to go male and female?
Break it down from male and female.
Okay. I would say, interesting enough, I would say that there are 70% low functioning women, 40% low functioning men.
What? What? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, with those low functioning men, did they ever say that a man of high function will never really know true love?
No, I don't even believe that, but no. But high functioning people have the ability to take a step back internally, not physically, process what they feel, hear their emotions in the real space that they're saying, because my emotions curse people out and things all day. But I regulate it, code switch it, deliver the message so you're receptive to it and you feel it with love, but I'm saying the same damn thing I was saying in here. And now we have a relationship. Now we have respect. And now we good. And now, like your mama said, because I love that quote, tell her that, please, I love that. We can go to heaven together and we can take this journey to hell as well.
But no, are you willing to go to hell?
I just said both.
Yeah.
Both.
So, but I don't think my question was clear, or the answer.
I'm sorry, he pisses me off. He really does. She gives the most eloquent answers to these questions about the most arbitrary subjects. She has been there. She's seen a lot of the world. I'm sure Cam has too, but I feel like he's lacking a lot of the emotional intelligence and comprehension skills to understand that she's just speaking in general. And she did answer the question, by the way.
Answer wasn't clear as far as a high functioning woman.
Yeah.
And
It's simple. High functioning woman feels the same thing a low functioning woman feels. She does two things differently. High functioning woman can regulate her emotions
Okay.
to articulate it so it comes out with emotional intelligence.
Okay.
And she uses what she feels, okay, and chooses with her healthy self and not her dysfunctional self.
Okay.
That's the only difference.
Now, explain to me what a high functioning man is.
A high functioning man, identical to a woman. He can feel what he feels, he regulates his emotions, and he chooses how he's going to deliver that message so that woman receives it and she's not armed and now we're at war. That's what a high functioning man does. And he's also able to sit through hard, challenging conversations without fleeing or abandoning that woman, and using his emotional intelligence that says, I hear you and I understand you, but baby, I don't agree with that one part.
There's a lot of things that I don't agree with
I don't agree with that.
in this
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would, because you're a low functioning man. I'm sorry, but you are. You are.
Going back to what I said, with that 40% of men who are high functioning that you counsel, what I said was most
She answered the question though. Like, why do you keep acting like, oh, what I said was very different and you didn't give me the answer that I needed? Like, are we listening to the same person speak here? Because I don't think we're in the same room, let alone the same planet.
of men who are high functioning that you counsel, what I said was most men understand this. We don't really find true love because it's what can you do for me?
Bro, who's we? Because you speaking for all men is kind of embarrassing. I think you should stop doing that. Don't speak for all men, because love is not transactional to everyone. Yes, we all bring something to the table that benefits each other. A lot of the time we do things for survival because we are humans, we want to survive. But on an emotional level, I'm looking for somebody who can be there with me during the really tough moments. Someone that I can speak to without being blown up on. Someone who is intent on understanding me and not being combative like this. So I think, you know what? It makes sense that you don't get it. You're not on that wavelength.
Because a man's job is to provide. Now, this is where most high vibrational man, high functioning man go through. As far as being emotionally intelligent, that still does not qualify you as being high vibrational.
What are you even talking about, bro? I expect the man that I'm with to be emotionally intelligent. Yes, it's good to be a provider. It's good to be the person who facilitates the marriage's lifestyle, whatever. If you're traditional, you believe that, sure. It's the fact that you aren't willing to see that both male and female counterparts in the relationship should be emotionally intelligent. I think that's the piece that is kind of missing from this puzzle for him.
The thing that is often said on two counterparts, two species, from a woman, it's about self-worth, how I feel. I'm not going to allow you to treat me like this. I'm not going to allow you to talk to me like this. I know my non-negotiables. I know my worth. Fine. That are all qualifying things for any woman to say to herself or to the universe, I'm high vibrational. Now, the thing for me is that doesn't qualify for men, because you can have all the
I love how he changed it to high vibrational too. But he is trying to make the argument that men and women have different roles, which, yeah, that may be true. I'm not going to disagree with that. I just think he's really missing that piece where in order for a relationship with people to flower, to get better, you both need to be willing to work on yourselves individually in order to come together and have a union. I think that's what's missing in a lot of relationships today. And then you see people like him that have like however many kids. I'm not going to judge you. I'm pretty sure we all know somebody who has a bunch of kids and it's in multiple relationships. Shit happens. Sometimes you pick the wrong person, and that's okay. It's okay to come to terms with that. It's when you start becoming resistant to the truth, that's where we have problems. You're very resistant to the idea that you need to be emotionally intelligent to have a good relationship with a woman. That's really what you're fighting against. And it's not a shock that you're resistant to that idea when your life is the way that it is. As an outsider, that's just what I'm observing.
Emotional intelligence, all the trigger points to be able to communicate. But if you stand at your mama house, all that's out the door. You understand what I'm saying? So society dictates what a man's value is, respectfully, and it's shameful to say it that way, but that's the surface level identifier of a high vibrational man, amongst other things. Now, these things are what women always say, oh, well, I'm not doing this, or yeah, this, that, and the third, and that's fine. But
What? What did you even say there? This, that, and the third? I'm so sorry, but this man is out of his depth in this conversation.
say it that way, but that's the surface level identifier of a high vibrational man, amongst other things. Now, these things are what women always say, oh, well, I'm not doing this, or yeah, this, that, and the third, and that's fine. But different rules for different species.
You're like, that's fine.
I think he's failing to see the fact that he is speaking to a mental health professional, and she's really trying to hone in on not so much the differences between men and women, but the similarities. Places where they both need to put in work to be the best people that they can be in order to create a healthy marriage or a relationship. I truly think that he's missing that point of this conversation, that while men and women have a lot of differences, in order for them to function in a relationship, the same work needs to happen on both sides. That's what she's trying to say, but he's for whatever reason, he's missing the point.
So
Right.
that's where I'm saying to you, it's like, okay, for that 40% or that 70% of high vibrational women, it's a little bit, the rules are a little different for men. And you can't say it's not, because it actually is. All that he's fit.
You can't say it's not because it actually is. I love your evidence for that. I love it. I'm sorry. It's just you really see the red pill ideology just bleed out of this man.
The rules are a little different for men. And you can't say it's not, because it actually is. All that he's fit, girl, I mean, everything. I mean, this, that, and the third. But Dr. Bryant ain't gonna talk to no guy that can, number one, protect her physically, emotionally, and gives her the stability to live her life as she see fit. And that's where the high vibrational man steps in, and we don't need that from a high vibrational woman. So that's my caveat.
Your caveat was terrible. I think it's funny that he has the gall to say that she's long-winded when she actually has a point. She's making a point, and she usually ends on the point she was trying to make. Yet he said all this to say nothing, essentially. Let me just go back so I can hear what he said again, so I'm not just salty and talking shit, but he really said a bunch of nothing.
Stop the motherfucking music. You. Are you dumb?
Yeah, he's literally missing her whole point. He's missing her whole point. And I understand that he's speaking from his experience, I'm not a man, so I can't speak to his point of view about there being different rules for them. I do know that there are specific archetypes that are placed on both men and women, and it would be ignorant to not acknowledge them. I just feel as though he's having a different conversation than she is, where she's trying to say, look, these are all differences that exist for men and women, but when it comes to relationships, when it comes to being married or dating, in order for a relationship to be fruitful, to be productive, both people need to do the individual work that a lot of the times has to do with trauma and emotional issues, emotional regulation. That's really all she's saying. And I feel like it went over his head, and now suddenly he's arguing about high value men being different from high value women and not needing certain things from women. Like, this is red pill brain rot. At least that's what I'm getting from it. It feels like he's not really understanding what high functioning and low functioning means, because he's confused with the high value of it all. Because that's indoctrination in the red pill. But yeah, let's continue.
So that's my caveat.
Okay, got it. You made a lot of really good points. So a man.
See, and that's the difference between someone who is willing to engage in a conversation and somebody who just came here with their preconceived notions and doesn't want to hear your opinion. He could easily be like, you made a lot of good points with your long-winded answer. Like, he's so passive aggressive when it comes to her speaking her piece. But when he has a long-winded answer where he doesn't really say much of anything, she's like, you made some good points, but here's my opinion. Like, dude, the amount of patience and grace that she is giving him when it's not even her show, like, he's been disrespecting her since the moment she started speaking.
And living in his mama house means he's low value, but can still be high functioning. High functioning and high value man are two different things. High valued man is more about value. What are you offering financially? What can you do for me? How can you provide for me? It has nothing to do with emotions. This is why you have a lot of high valued women and men who are extremely low functioning. It is statistically known that high valued women, not functioning, high value women, meaning powerhouse, makes money, elected official, doctor, lawyer, entrepreneur, whatever she does, she's just killing it. She does well. Educated, not educated, she just does her thing financially. She's high valued. Often end up with low functioning men.
Why?
And it's because she has high value, she doesn't have high function. Law of attraction, we attract who we are despite of who we think we are. So the man living in his mama's house that you described, right? Mm-hmm. That's based on society, that's a low value man.
Reality, not
That's
society.
fine, you can say reality. I'm fine with that, yeah.
Right.
Value is not a functioning. High functioning is how you function. Had nothing to do with money or where you live or how you drive.
Right.
Okay. Value is the word value because it's it's what you said. How valuable are you? Mm-hmm. How valuable are you, sis? What you bringing to the table?
Okay, now.
Those are two different things.
I just want to stop you right there before I lose my. If the man doesn't have high value,
yes,
he will not spark the interest of no woman.
That's not true. Fuck, I skipped forward because of that. He triggered me. But that isn't true. There are multiple examples of women who are high value going for low value men. Like, I don't have any examples ready, but when I start editing this, I'm gonna plaster them right here so you can see what I mean.
His income, socioeconomic status wasn't anywhere where somebody would go, Doc, really? He didn't have a title up to the caliber of mine. Mm-hmm. He wasn't in rooms and boardrooms. He wasn't sitting there with Congress, elected officials, and making moves and making legislation and resolutions like myself. And so at that time, I was a woman who was high valued, okay, and high functioning, who was dating a man who was high functioning but low value, but didn't live with his mother. And for me, what he was providing in the sense of our companionship was great in that season.
Which was what?
What do you mean, which is what?
What was he providing you?
The functionality.
I hate his fucking smug ass face when he asked this. Like, dude, you're not even understanding the very basic idea of low functioning or high functioning people because you're so stuck on the value aspect of it. You can take this smugness, package it up, and put it in this fireplace and burn it.
The emotional intelligence.
The functionality?
The what?
I'm asking you.
You're asking me. Wait, what did you? What word did you say?
Functionality.
You're asking me, was he making love to me?
Yes.
Good?
Yes.
If the sex was good?
Yes.
The sex was great.
Now let me tell
Yeah,
you
it
this.
wasn't the best I had, but it was
But
great.
this goes to my point.
But that wasn't all. You asked a question.
Yes, but I'm making a point here.
So you want me to?
Even though
But I'm making a point here, and my point is way more important than your answer. Dude, listen, I already watched this once before, and I feel like it's somehow worse on the second viewing. I can't tell you why that is. It's really blatant that he was not prepared for this conversation, in my opinion. In my very unqualified opinion, okay?
Finish what he was
just
providing?
press a pause.
Okay.
Just press the space bar real
Go
quick.
for it.
Even though you were entertaining him sexually, you will never be saw with that man because he don't fit my standards. That doesn't mean you can't entertain him.
First of all, that's not true. So I'm the source. I'm the woman. I'm the one who was dating him. I'm going to speak from that source, not you. So as the source who was dating him, that's not true. We were seen in public. We were seen on red carpets when I was co-producing my show, as well as on Camera Psychologist with the biggest show on TV, Teen Mom Family Reunion on MTV. We did a lot of that. And we didn't enter a relationship where we led by sex, so I was tied to the sex is so good, this is what we're doing. I would have just ran that play with saying we just sexing, let's leave it there, I'm grown. I could do that. His functionality, his intellect, his high functioning is what attracted me. As that functionality continued to be attractive and foreplay me, my body started to want him. That happened about 8 months into us having a companionship. And so I'm not saying anyone who does it the first day, I'm not knocking no one, I'm just telling the reality of how we worked it out. So by the time we were intimate, the actual act wasn't all that, but our connection, our functionality, our intimacy, all the foreplay for 8 months made that sex amazing. Because it's subjective on what turns who on. And for this subject, what I'm turned on by is high functioning. I'm turned on by a man who's mature enough, emotionally intelligent enough to be a hybrid, an alpha, a submissive, a man who understands that. So for me, that's what he was feeding me, my foreplay of what turns me on as me as a woman. And so yes, I not only entertained, but I was very much involved in that relationship.
With that remedy or that ingredient that most people do, it's going to run its course.
That's fine.
But
who cares?
I just hate when he has like things to say and it just doesn't feel like it contributes to the conversation in any way. I think that he's one of those people that seems to think that he's God's gift to the earth. And he's just gonna continue to live his life the way that he wants, and it doesn't fucking matter what anyone says. And that's fine. You can live that. Just don't come over here and act like you're better than someone who doesn't want to have kids needlessly.
With that remedy or that ingredient that most people do, it's going to run its course.
That's fine. But who cares? Marriage runs its course. Our divorce rate is high.
But listen to the point that I'm trying to make. as a high valued woman, she's never going to entertain a man that is not also high value. Now,
It's not true.
I will say it like this, even though he has high function, to sustain the relationship, that high function will run its course if that's all you have.
Not necessarily. And I don't think that someone who is high functioning can like just run its course when they've proven to you that they're a valuable piece of your life and your journey, just solely based on emotional support, being with you through some really tough times, showing you that you can grow as a person in the relationship. What will create longevity in a relationship is two people who are willing to put in the work individually to then work together to make something work together. I don't know what the fuck he's trying to say. I really don't.
So you being who you are, you attract a certain type of man. Me being who I am, I can take anybody and transform them into who I want them to be.
Hold on, sir. You really think that you're that special? That you can just transform any woman out there to be what you want them to be? Do you know how disrespectful that is to someone who you could possibly be dating to hear something like that? Like, oh, so you transformed me into what you wanted and I'm still not worth marriage? Like, dude, the jokes just write themselves.
A woman cannot do that.
That's not true.
In most cases.
That's not true.
Okay, she's not willing.
No, I'm
to
saying
do
that no man can take a woman and transform her into what he wants her to be. She came in and is willing to allow you to tell her what you want and she'll submit to those. You're
Yes.
not.
Yeah, and that's a low functioning woman. Like, straight up. I've been that girl. Like, you can't make somebody want what you want just because you think that you're such a great person that you deserve it. Like, no, you need to meet the person where they're at, and you need to decide whether or not that's something that you're willing to deal with. And as someone who is low functioning at the moment, you're going to take any crumb that some guy gives you. And if he's like, well, I'll be with you if you do this whole list of things, and you're willing to make that choice and make all those changes for that person, just for them, that's low functioning behavior. You should be secure enough in yourself to make the changes that you see fit, that you need. You do it for yourself, not for them. That's the only way it works.
Not God, and you're not the potter maker. So your hands ain't on no pot, sweetie. Taking a woman and conforming, you just don't have that power. You probably would like to, but you don't have that power. And that's where the disconnect comes in at with people who are high valued but low functioning.
But I don't.
Dude, she's literally about to explain to you where the disconnect in your conversation is, and you're squirming in your seat.
Connect comes in at with people who are high valued but low functioning.
But I don't want
Hold
you-
on, high value but low functioning. The high value, low functioning. I'm gonna say it again, y'all stick with me. High value, low functioning thinks the high value can attract the low functioning, and the low functioning and that high value person thinks they can potter the low functioning and mold them to be what they want. It don't work like that at all. That person still chooses to become what you're telling them you want them to be. That's still their power, and they can take it back when they want. And let me hit on something else you said. You said that high functionality.
He doesn't even look like he's listening. I'm sorry. If you zoom in to his face, look at his fucking face. It's really funny to me in conversations when you see somebody start to like just mentally check out. And that's fine. It's fine to mentally check out, but to then be adamant that like your point was missed somehow when you're literally not hearing what she's saying. Like she's giving you your kudos in there somewhere, and you're missing
Hit
it.
on something else you said. You said that high functionality will run its course. I believe the opposite.
without value. See, this is where you keep trying to skew my words or my intentions of my words. I'm not saying
with
Dude, it's not about you. She's speaking from her area of expertise. And that's why you have her on. Yet you're debating her on what her opinions are. I don't know, man. This not a good look, Cam.
without value. But what I'm saying is I still don't agree with that point. I don't say your point's a bad point. I just don't agree with it.
I just think you're taking it out of my contents my intentions for saying.
Bro, we need to stop with the context shit because you guys are having a conversation. She didn't take shit out of context. If she were watching you say something and she was responding, that's different. She could have clipped something out of context and it didn't fit there. You're literally having a conversation with her and she is referencing things that you said. Maybe she misinterpreted that, but you don't have to make it this she's consciously misinterpreting you. You could just say, hey, this is actually what I meant by that. Does your point still stand with my changing, my contextualizing it? And whether she says yes or no, that's up to her. But Jesus Christ. Having a conversation with this guy must be really, really difficult.
That's what I believe you're doing. And that's not my intentions. Like, you're making points of things that I did not intend.
You said high functionality will run out without value, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm hitting on that point.
For a high value woman, high functioning will run its course if you do not have any value.
And I'm saying.
But you're missing the point that the emotional intelligence is the value. You can't just find that anywhere. Like, am I having a stroke? Because I don't understand how he's not understanding.
Saying that I don't see that being the case.
Okay.
From being in my field.
But hold on, just real brief.
Yes.
You were saying to that analogy of you turning water into 7-Up. I never thought that I was God or Jesus to be.
But you're saying that you can transform a woman into whatever you want. That's why she said that. Like, have I missed a point? Honestly, please let me know in the comments because I feel like he is twisting her words to make her look like she's purposely misinterpreting what he's saying when he literally said that. He literally said, I can transform any woman into what I want. That was her analogy to what you just said. So now you're seeing how fucking crazy you sound and you want to run it back? Okay.
Able
Got
to
it.
control.
But when you say I could take a woman and make her what I want, that's the same thing. That's the same thing. You're taking me and making me what you want. You're taking Jessica and making her what you want. It doesn't matter. You cannot turn water to wine. That's her power. She comes in, you tell her what you want, and she chooses to do that. And if she becomes that, it's because of her choice. Because the day she chooses to undo that, it's undone.
But
so it's still the power.
But can you shut up so I can make my point? Like, you're not even listening to her answer. That's the shit that pisses me off with dudes like you. Why would you have this woman who is a psychologist, who literally studies the human mind, trauma, all of that? Why would you then do this? I just don't understand. You're wasting her time. But also, I need to say that giving her this platform and letting her read you like this for your audience, she wins. Out of this exchange, she's the one who wins. So, she's gonna get a lot of popularity just from this one appearance. She did something with Nick Cannon as well. She also read him for filth. So yeah, it's equally beneficial, but at the end of the day, you're losing because mask off. Your mask completely came off.
Yeah, but that's what goes back to the original statement.
Yes.
Will a man really understand true love?
He could, but I don't think you can, as long as you stay in this mindset that you will never be emotionally intelligent or you don't even want to try doing that. That's the reason why you're low functioning. Because as long you can have all the money that you want, you can have an amazing career, you can have an awesome podcast that people want to be on and get millions, hundreds of thousands of views. That's great. You're high value. But where you are failing in this equation is that you think that it's fine to just continually make broken homes and just keep living your life and keep having baby mamas, and that's your lifestyle, and you think that that's fine and that's normal. That's where you fuck up, dude. You're missing a whole piece of that puzzle, because all you care about is, I'm high value, I can have anyone I want, all these women can have all my babies because I have money to back it up. Like, okay, bro. A high functioning woman wouldn't give a shit about any of that. Okay. This is the clip that everyone saw.
So I'm not married, right? I have beautiful children.
How many?
8.
I didn't do my research. I thought it was 4, but 8. Okay.
No, baby.
Cool.
It's
By how
8.
many women?
3. And this is the kicker. I want more. Now,
By multiple women? What's the intent?
I
I'm
just want
saying
God
about
to
your
bring
wife.
him. I just want God to bring him.
Okay, but you have a big part to play in this thing that we call life, and you just continually finding new women to drop a baby off at, like, that has nothing to do with God. These are the actions that you're taking, and you're just trying to, like, you're just running from accountability here.
Oh, okay. And you have, so you just.
Because my point is this. My desire to get married is lower than my fear of divorce. So, as you had said, Dr. Bryant, you said it, I didn't say it, I will agree. I'm just taking my time.
Oh my God, I hate the smugness here. Yeah, you said this. I didn't say it, but I agree. I'm just taking my time. Listen, if you were at your age and you had no children and you were still waiting to find the person that you're gonna marry, I would give you that you're just taking your time. But you're having so many kids with so many women, creating single moms. You're just creating single moms, and that seems to be good for you. Like, I wonder how your mom feels about this.
You're not taking your time.
I am, though.
You're being very action-based. You're not taking your time. You're being very action-based.
I'm taking my time.
You're being very action-based. You have 8 kids with 3 different women.
Yes.
You are creating, procreating, and multiplying. That is not taking your time. You're being very selectively active, okay? So you're creating, in disclaimer, the kids are innocent, they are beautiful and amazing. Anything I say has nothing to do with them babies, because I can't wait to be a mom, and I love the kids, period. But you are proactively choosing where you want to be active at and where you want to take your time. You want to take your time in having a wife because of your own fears. But you will, and I say this with all respect and love, what I'm about to say next, okay, Cam? But you will selfishly create broken families, even if you're in their life and you're a proactive father, and I believe you're an amazing daddy. I can only imagine with just your presence and knowing you thus far. But these families are still broken. Every child cannot have Papa in the house with them. So some child, if not all, will end up with some kind of deficit without daddy being there. Now, you chose to do that. I'm not saying you sat there and woke up one morning and said, I want to be selfish today, so I'm going to go make a baby. Not saying that at all. But those are selfish acts at the expense of your fear. So at what point do you feel the fear, do it anyways? And yeah, that is a low functioning behavior. To say that I am going to create these homes. Let me go better. I'm going to build these houses and put kids and these beautiful women and kids in them, but I ain't going to create a home in them. I'm going to wait till I dissipate my fear to find a wife where I'm still going to be fearful with, because there's no such thing as not having some type of nerve or some type of feeling behind marrying somebody who you're spending your life with. And then I'm going to build a home with her while all these other beautiful babies have houses. That's completely unfair and it's selfish.
Just tell me when I can solve.
Yeah, almost. That's completely unfair and that's selfish.
See, he's not even listening to what she's saying. Like, let me know when I can get in there and say something. Like, dude, she's literally, like, schooling you. She's schooling you on your life. She is reading you for filth, and that hurts. And that's fine. It is human to feel some sort of shame for mistakes that you've made, and that's okay. Your children aren't the mistake. Okay, we're gonna say that. The children aren't the mistake. You deciding to have so many different baby moms and not just committing to the one that you started with, that's gonna create problems for the children in the future. You wouldn't know that because your father didn't abandon you, your mom didn't abandon you, but your kids are going to feel that. And I feel really bad for them. Because I know what it's like to have a parent like use your home as like a revolving door while they're trying to figure themselves out. I know what that feels like. So low functioning behavior will inevitably affect your children. And I think he's trying to dodge that responsibility by saying that he was just waiting, like he was taking his time to find who the perfect wife would be. But you didn't need to bring these kids into the world while you figured that out. You didn't need to do that. But yeah.
Selfish. And so, yes, you're taking your time in this department, but you're not taking your time in this department, which means you're compartmentalizing. And compartmentalizing never works. Compartmentalizing hurts everybody involved. Everybody who's in this box and that box and this box and that box and this box. And then here you go over here trying to figure out what box you're going to feed or entertain or do. Then you're looking outside to figure out who's your next victim to put in the box. It's unhealthy. And it's a huge dysfunction within our Black community that I truly believe personally, statistically, mental health-wise, and community-wise, that Black men would stop.
Black men would what?
Stop doing that, that they would stop that dysfunctional behavior of compartmentalizing and creating houses, not homes, and then finally a home with the wife, and then you have all these other houses that are homeless. But you over here, at some point when you do get a wife, if you do, I'm saying if that's what you want, you will. You'll get whatever you want. You're trying to create a home. Totally dysfunctional and extremely, that's the epitome of selfish. Epitome of selfish. I'm done, you can go for it.
Okay, say less. All right, so,
See, those are the moments that really show who the fuck he is. He waits for her to finish and he's like, okay, say less. Listen, I get it. I come from an urban fucking area. We say less also. But the way that he uses it literally feels like he is dismissing her answer before he goes on his own defensive tirade. Now, I could be wrong. Let's see what he says.
what identifies as a broken home?
What you have going on with these, whoever you're not in the house with, is a broken home. It's called a blended family. It's called a blended family.
That means?
That the family is blended. So blended
So blended means broken?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So the guy that you were entertaining, mm-hmm. you would go as low as?
I love how we're deflecting now. It's someone else, not you.
26.
That I would entertain?
Yes.
Got it, okay.
And as high as what age?
Whatever man that doesn't have kids.
As high as?
Whoever doesn't have kids, whatever age he is with no kids.
I just.
No, that's the age. I'm saying I don't have an age range as far as how old if he has no kids.
So your non-negotiable is a person who does not have children.
My non-negotiable is a person with kids, but yes, I get how you're saying it, yes.
So you cannot date a person, you cannot be with a person. I
can, but I'm choosing not to.
So?
I can be with anyone, but I'm...
Bro, what is going on through his head right now? Because she is clearly answering these questions and he's just like, no, that's not what I meant. She's trying to tell you that she will not date people that already have children because she does not want to contribute to more broken homes. And I understand that. I personally have that same non-negotiable. I won't date somebody who has kids already. When she marries a guy, she wants to be that man's wife, the mother of his kids, not stepmom to however many children. Like, and I don't see a problem with it. I don't see why he's over here like, oh, you would never date a man with children? Oh my God. What does that have anything to do with you? I need to chill because now I'm triggered.
You're
I gotta correct it. It's my narrative, Cam.
You're like jumping in, jumping out. It's either.
Cam, No, it's not I can't. There's no such thing. I can date whoever I want. I am definitely well equipped to do so.
It is a preference, sir.
So I'm not going to allow that word to be something that fits what I can't do. I'm well equipped to date anybody.
Yes.
My preference,
Yes.
because there's nothing wrong with a lot of men who have kids. So I don't want to put that narrative out there.
Yes.
My personal preference is I would not choose to date a man with kids.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're dating a man with kids. Just a scenario.
Oh, okay, got it. Yes.
You're dating a man with kids.
Yes.
So you've identified that that's a broken home from the jump with your verbiage of blame.
With her involvement, yes, because that would mean that he is not with the mother of his children. That's contributing to a broken home. I don't understand what is going on here.
Blended family means broken.
I've identified that I'm dating a broken man who is creating who he is, because we could teach what we know, we create who we are. And so broken people create brokenness, whether it's through a child, whether it's through a relationship, whether it's through themselves. It doesn't have to be a beautiful baby, but you're creating brokenness. And broken people can come from married households. I'm not saying that a two-parent household.
Case in point right here. Mr. Cam is evidence of that. You can create a broken person in a not broken home. Because, listen, I'm not going to say that he's a bad person. I don't know this man. From what I've seen, his lifestyle leaves much to be desired. Just because you have money from when you were in the NFL and from your businesses, this doesn't mean that you don't have flaws in other places. You have things that you should be working on as well. You having 8 children from 3 different women is definitely not an attracting factor for high functioning or high value women. And that's my opinion. We can have opinions.
Can't create the result of a child who then has brokenness and creates broken blended families everywhere. I'm not negating that.
That's not my point.
No, I know, I'm making that point.
Bro, every single time she makes a point, that's not my point. Homie, let her get through one answer. Like, wow.
But yes,
But my point,
my answer is I not only identified that those homes are houses without a home because he's not in them,
yeah,
but also that he's a broken man.
but you're going to be with a broken man.
No, I won't. I just said I wouldn't be with a man. I wouldn't be with a broken man who has multiple kids. I will take
No, not multiple. I'm
well,
talking
a kid. It doesn't
so
matter.
you're
I don't
not going to date a man with children.
No, but let me clear this up because you said I won't date a broken man. That's not what I said.
My question is, what makes you think that her, a woman who is very educated, has a degree, has a business, she's a powerhouse on her own. Why is it so hard to believe that she wouldn't want to be with someone who already started multiple families? She was about to say that she would be with a broken man, which is fair. A lot of women are willing to be there for the work in progress and the potential that they have to become something better. But her one caveat is, if you have kids, I will not date you. I don't see what's so hard to understand about that.
No, I said, are you, listen to what I'm saying.
I heard you.
Doc.
Let me answer it. Hold on. We all have a level of brokenness. So will I date a broken man? Yes. Am I going to date a certain type of brokenness? No.
Of course you're not.
And that type of brokenness is a man who has kids outside of me isn't something that's conducive for what I want forever.
Right.
But will you date him?
No.
So that,
I mean, people date to marry. If she is later in her life and what she is looking for is marriage, why on earth would she pick something that she doesn't agree with to be in a relationship with if the goal is marriage? Like, dude, I'm at a loss for words.
goes to my point. I'm trying to ask a question. You have 2 different men right here. One man who has...
I will not date a man with kids.
Okay, that's all I'm asking.
Yes, I will
But
not.
do you understand?
She's been saying that,
It's
though.
off of-
Let me answer it. Hold on.
But I must defend this situation. I have 8 children.
Okay, so now you're finally ready to get into it personally. After you had time to attack her and her... You know what? It's fine. Let's just,
And
8 beautiful babies. I'm
I
sure.
will not. No baby mother of mine could ever say that she's a single mother, because single mother insinuates that she has no help.
I would have to disagree with that. She can say that she's a single mom. You aren't in a relationship with her just because you made a baby with her and because you support her monetarily. She is still a single mom. She still has to live in her home with her child by herself, unless y'all have like a custody agreement. I don't know. I can't speak to that. But she is single and a mom. That's what she means by broken homes. There is no union in that home. Maybe they all live with you, but their moms aren't there. So, still a single mom. I think that he's confusing being there for them monetarily with actually having a functioning home dynamic. They're two different things.
So for me in my situation, life be lifing. That's a common.
Yeah, it does. I agree.
And my situation is a product of life happening. So,
And none of us are exempt from it.
of course.
Right,
So we
right,
have preferences. We
100%.
have things that we could say, okay, I would love to do this.
Right.
I'm raised in a church, so my father would always direct us to say, hey, be this, be that, be that, be this.
Right.
But I can also tell my father this, your reality is not my reality.
100%.
But you chose that. You know, like your dad had one family. He chose that. You could have chosen the same thing, but you didn't. And that's not a matter of lifing. You chose that.
Makes sense to you. So I can agree with you, and we can agree to disagree, that I'm not creating broken homes. I'm doing the best with the situation that I was given.
You mean the situation that you put yourself in, sir? No one told you to have all them babies. That's not something that was given to you. You made that. You made that scenario. So yes, you may be doing the best with what you have currently, but you have no one to blame for what you have right now but yourself. Where's the accountability here? You did create broken homes. And it sucks to hear. It does suck to hear. It doesn't make you a bad person either. That's just the reality. Sometimes things don't work out. You were with one person and you thought it was going to end in a marriage or a home for your children, and then it doesn't work out and you have to keep it moving. But you have to face the reality that those choices are why your reality exists.
And am given. So, hands-on father? Absolutely. I don't subscribe to just bringing fatherless children or motherless children into this world. I have an unbelievable relationship with the mothers of my children. And it's
That's great.
healthy co-parenting that we.
Listen, it's great to co-parent now that this is the situation at hand. But if you had been disciplined with what you were trying to do, very intentional with your plan for a family, this wouldn't have happened. And I'm not saying that he's a bad person for that, but you do have to acknowledge that you played a part in this. It doesn't make you a bad person, but you should be able to acknowledge that, yes, I have a blended family, and in some ways that could affect my children. That's really it. That's it.
Show the children real love, real communication,
Right.
real orders of operations. And I think that's key, because even though we have this unspoken societal pressure to do this and be this, but that's just not, that's a unicorn that you're waiting for. Because if I'm sitting up here telling you like, yo, I have aspirations to have this, but my experiences have shown me that that person really doesn't exist. So when I'm asking or I'm asked questions of, is the expectations unrealistic? Because my reality has garnered unbelievable connections with women around the world. Not in Africa, I haven't been in Africa, right? But at the same time, I've been able to make the best of my situation. And I can't say that that situation ever resulted into a broken home.
Got it. So this is my
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to disagree with you. Your home is broken just by virtue of there being 3 women that all of your children came from. And it's okay that you guys have a great co-parenting relationship. That is the best. It's making the best out of a bad situation, because that's what it is. That is not ideal for anyone. Sure, you can say that because you have enough money to provide for all of them, that it's right. That isn't true. There are some kids that are going to have less time with you, a skewed point of view about relationships because they see that their mom is over here being a single mom and you have your primary partner living with you with all the kids coming over, and it's like, why wasn't my mom good enough for this family life? Things like that come up. I'm not saying that that's going to happen to him, but I'm just saying, for example, like a blended family is a broken family, whether you want to admit that or not. That's just the reality.
I think you can label it whatever your hurt ego needs it to be labeled, so that you feel good about your choices. But at the end of the day, a family consists of a dynamic, and that dynamic consists of 2 parents and a child. And when you start to create that multiple times, that's called a blended family. And when there's somebody missing from the home, but they are the school daddy, meaning I picked them up or dropped them off to school, or they are the sports mother or father, I come to the games, but they're not the I wake up and go to sleep with my kids, that household now is broken by the family dynamic. That doesn't mean.
Oh my God, he's literally taking it so personally. She's not speaking about him, only him. She's speaking generally about people who have blended families. She's not saying that any of these dynamics only apply to him. And he seems to be taking it like, oh, but you're not describing my family. What are we talking about here? Buddy, it's not just about you. There are many people whose reality is a broken home. She's explaining an example of one of the many.
That does not mean,
You're
Cam,
not describing me.
That does not mean, Cam, that you are not a dynamic father. That does not mean that you don't have a great relationship with him. I'm talking about the political construct of a family.
Societal construct, political construct.
If you want to.
Oh my God, this man and his semantics. I'm about to fucking jump off something.
That's what I'm saying. If you want to call it that, that's fine. But listen.
Those things that you
whatever we label it doesn't change our decisions, though.
That's what I'm trying to. That's what you don't understand.
So all of your baby mamas live in one house?
No, they do not. But my children stay with me.
So then it's still a broken house. So the mothers aren't in your home. So it doesn't make a difference.
But that's making the best of the situation.
See, but he's failing to understand that making the best out of a situation is the bare minimum that you need to do when the situation is already upon you. No one is saying that that's a bad thing. You should be making the best out of a bad situation, but it is still a bad situation.
Listen, and let me say this. That part, I agree with. That part, I admire in you.
Okay.
That part, I think is amazing.
Right.
Now she needs to coddle him again because he's getting triggered.
Cam, look at me. That part, I say thank you for being a man who's vertical, who stood up and dealt with his decisions, whether it was decisions you liked or you didn't, or you planned or you didn't, and you did what you had to do. That's called a man, baby. So thank you for being a man.
Yes, ma'am.
And doing your thing. Seriously. See, there's a difference. So with you, I'm saying thank you, because my father has 6 of us by 5 different women, but he was a father. And so when you say, Doc, but I'm a daddy.
See, and the fact that she has to insert that that personal anecdote to like calm him down, you could tell that she has a lot of expertise in mental health. She's trying to disarm him because he's immediately defensive, immediately wants to explain, well, that's not my situation. she's trying to tell him, look, my father had 6 kids from 5 different women. So when I'm telling you that it creates broken homes, I'm telling you from a place of experiencing it. And it's a good thing that you're a father to your kids, because if my father hadn't been there for me, things would have been markedly different, you know?
Daddy, don't negate that. I hear you more than you believe me hear you, because I had a daddy who was a father, and he wasn't in the house with all of us, but from a woman who was a little girl who had the best daddy I've seen a girl have straight up to this day. Am I saying you ain't? But that's my daddy. I wasn't in the house with him. So the things that whoever he was in the house with, that environment is different from me coming over and seeing it. Now, for your babies, they all live with you. Their environment is different from when they go with mommy, and mommy has whoever's in that house. So the roles have just switched, but it still makes, not the kids, hear me out, it still makes the household dynamic is a blended, broken household. It doesn't mean that your babies have to grow up broken. This is what I want to be clear on. It doesn't mean that you as a father can change their life. Listen, I beat the odds of being a baby mama because I had a daddy that wasn't in the house, but he was in my life, he was in my ear, he was in my ass about decisions. So this is why I'm saying the household, baby, is still broken, but it doesn't mean your kids have to be. But it's about coming into awareness of what really is. And like my father knew, he had blended families, broken homes, but he tried to overcompensate, and he did in every way he could by being a daddy. So that's all I'm saying is we can label it what we want, but the reality is this is what a blended family looks like, unless you're telling me it's polyamorous, and you're not. This is what a broken household looks like. Now, let me go further. Do broken households make for good people? You damn right. I'm not a statistic. I ain't perfect. I work through my stuff. I come from the inner city of the hood. I'm a product of teenage parents, a dope dealer and an addict who is now sober and killing it. My mama's a VP of my company, runs everything, got her own business, and I'm a doctor. So people like me come from situations like that. So I'm always advocate for it, but I'm always keep it real about what it is. Because in order for us to take it and heal it and do something with it, we gotta call a damn duck a duck, so we know where to put it, what to feed it, how to do it, and what it needs. We can't be in this society as Black people and want to give things different words so that it makes us feel better about our decision. The decision is made. It is a broken home, it is a blended family, and now what are we gonna do with these beautiful babies? So that your son, you got boys? I'm guessing out of 8, you gotta have some boys. So that your
Bro, she is spitting and he's giving her nothing. She asked him a question in the middle of that. He's just like, he's clearly offended.
boys make different and better decisions than daddy did. Not that you didn't do the best of what you had, but so your boys can say, Daddy, I admire you, but I did it different. And that's okay. I don't choose my father in men who have the multiple kids, but I choose my daddy and men who are solid, and who got my back, and who love me unconditionally, and who dote on me, and still treat me like his baby at 41. That's all I'm saying. So you're doing a hell of a job, thank you. But the situation is what it is, it's the reality.
Why is he so triggered right now? Like, dude, I'm gonna say this. I am shocked that he chose to still put this up. I'm genuinely shocked. Because the amount of, like, the lacking of self-awareness here, like there's cognitive dissonance happening right here, and that's why he's just seething, because like he's probably used to like being told that he's like the most amazing man, and then she comes in and she's like, actually
Of it.
I can talk.
Yes.
Okay.
I could talk now. Okay, let's move on because fuck you.
Woo! Now, we gonna press the space bar with that real quick, and we have to get to our game.
He's so fucking disrespectful. I can't.
So you have to carpe diem, seize the moment that you're in, or the situation that you're in. And no matter who it is, I will not let you dictate what you think, or you think,
Right.
or you. Because
what you're doing or what you got going on.
yeah, it's like the truth of the matter is like, yo, I know who I am. I'm so comfortable in that.
Honestly, I think he is actually being honest there. I do think he's lacking a lot of self-awareness, but I think that he's definitely comfortable staying who he is. Because if he wasn't comfortable with that, he would have never posted this. He's standing on his convictions, and that's fine. But he's also getting dragged for the things that he said, because honestly, it's very selfish. What he's done with his life is very selfish. You're not thinking about the kids. Okay, we're just gonna skip to the end, which is where he does like a bit of a drive-by insults. He does some drive-by insults of her. On his way out, he's just like, I'm just gonna disrespect you before you leave so I can feel like my ego is still intact.
This is what happens when your cigar goes out?
I'm trying to tell you, I get agitated,
you need a cigar.
long-winded. It took you 16 paragraphs to tell me where you originally was from.
telling you,
I
yeah.
really enjoyed this stuff.
Wow.
I really did. And as we end things here at Funky Friday, it's simple. All right, can we understand?
This man is a piece of work. I am gonna say that.